Our planet stands at a crossroads. The year is 2024. Two pivotal gatherings loom on the horizon, each holding the potential to alter the course of our future. In Cali, Colombia, the UN Biodiversity Conference will convene, a beacon of hope for the millions of species we share our planet with. Meanwhile, in the United Arab Emirates, COP29, the UN Climate Change Conference, will take center stage, grappling with the existential threat of climate change. These two summits, seemingly distinct, are bound by an undeniable truth. The fate of our planet hangs in the balance. The decisions made in these hallowed halls will resonate far beyond conference rooms and negotiating tables. They will determine the health of our ecosystems. They will shape the well-being of generations to come. The challenges we face are immense. Biodiversity loss is accelerating at an alarming rate, pushing countless species to the brink of extinction. The very fabric of life on Earth, the intricate web of ecosystems that sustain us, is unraveling before our eyes. Simultaneously, the planet continues to warm, fueled by our insatiable appetite for fossil fuels. The consequences are already being felt across the globe, from extreme weather events to rising sea levels. The time for complacency is long gone. The year 2024 presents a unique opportunity, a chance to change our relationship with the natural world. The conferences in Cali and the UAE offer a glimmer of hope in a world teetering on the edge. Can we seize this moment and forge a new path, one that embraces both the challenges and the opportunities before us? The world watches and waits. Nestled amidst the lush greenery of Colombia, Cali is poised to become the epicenter of global biodiversity conservation. Here, delegates from around the world will gather for the UN Biodiversity Conference, their collective gaze fixed on a single pressing question: how do we halt and reverse the tide of biodiversity loss? The conference will delve into a myriad of critical themes, each one a vital thread in the intricate tapestry of life. Protecting and restoring natural areas will be paramount, recognizing that healthy ecosystems are the cornerstones of a thriving planet. The role of indigenous communities as stewards of nature will take center stage, acknowledging their invaluable knowledge and deep connection to the land. Sustainable use of biodiversity will be another key focus. Finding ways to meet human needs while safeguarding the delicate balance of nature is essential. The equitable sharing of benefits arising from the use of genetic resources will also be explored. This principle of fairness ensures that the custodians of biodiversity, often marginalized communities, share in the rewards. The stakes could not be higher. The decisions made in Cali will reverberate across ecosystems, impacting the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food we eat. The eyes of the world will be watching, hoping for bold action, for a renewed commitment to protect the very essence of life on Earth.
In the heart of the Amazon rainforest, a Kayapo elder tends to his ancestral lands, his wisdom passed down through generations. In the high Andes, a Quechua woman carefully cultivates quinoa, her connection to the earth profound and unwavering. Across the globe, indigenous peoples and local communities stand as guardians of nature, their lives inextricably intertwined with the rhythms of the natural world. For millennia, these communities have lived in harmony with their environments, their traditional knowledge a testament to the power of sustainable living. They understand the delicate balance of ecosystems, the intricate relationships between species, and the importance of respecting the limits of nature. Their voices, often marginalized and unheard, hold the key to unlocking solutions to the biodiversity crisis. The UN Biodiversity Conference in Cali recognizes the pivotal role of indigenous peoples and local communities. Their participation in decision-making processes is not just desired, it is essential. Their traditional knowledge, coupled with scientific expertise, can pave the way for innovative approaches to conservation and sustainable use. Empowering these communities to protect their lands and waters is not only a matter of justice, it is a strategic imperative. By recognizing their rights, respecting their knowledge, and supporting their livelihoods, we can unleash a powerful force for change, a force that can help bend the curve of biodiversity loss and secure a future where both people and nature thrive.
As the sun beats down on the gleaming skyscrapers of the UAE, the world's attention will turn to COP29, the latest installment in the ongoing saga of international climate negotiations. Here, amidst the deserts and the opulence, the fate of the Paris Agreement hangs in the balance. The agenda for COP29 is as daunting as it is crucial. Climate finance, the lifeblood of any meaningful climate action, will be a central theme. Developed nations will be under intense pressure to deliver on their promises of financial support to developing countries, enabling them to transition to low-carbon economies and adapt to the impacts of climate change. The contentious issue of loss and damage will also take center stage. As the impacts of climate change become increasingly severe, vulnerable countries are demanding compensation for the irreversible losses they are suffering. Reaching an agreement on this sensitive issue will be a true test of global solidarity. Accelerating the transition to renewable energy will be another key focus. The world needs to rapidly wean itself off fossil fuels, embracing clean and sustainable sources of energy. This transition requires not only technological innovation, but also political will and a fundamental shift in our energy consumption patterns. The stakes at COP29 are nothing short of existential. The decisions made in the air-conditioned conference rooms of the UAE will have profound implications for the future of our planet and the well-being of billions of people. The world will be watching, hoping against hope that our leaders will rise to the challenge and demonstrate the courage and foresight needed to avert climate catastrophe.
Section 5, A Tale of Two Crises, Untangling the Web. On the surface, the UN Biodiversity Conference and COP29 may appear as separate entities, each grappling with its own set of challenges. Yet beneath the surface lies a profound and intricate connection. Biodiversity loss and climate change are not isolated crises. They are two sides of the same coin, inextricably intertwined in a complex web of cause and effect. Climate change is a major driver of biodiversity loss. As temperatures rise and weather patterns become more erratic, ecosystems are thrown into disarray. Species are forced to adapt, migrate, or face extinction. Coral reefs, those vibrant underwater cities, are bleaching and dying as ocean temperatures soar. Forests, once teeming with life, are succumbing to drought and wildfires. Conversely, biodiversity loss exacerbates climate change. Deforestation, driven by agricultural expansion and unsustainable logging practices, removes vital carbon sinks, releasing greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. The degradation of ecosystems weakens their ability to regulate the climate, making them more vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. This intricate dance between biodiversity loss and climate change underscores the need for integrated solutions. We cannot address one crisis in isolation. They must be tackled together, recognizing their interconnectedness and the need for a holistic approach.
Section 6. When Solutions Collide, Navigating the Conflicts. The interconnectedness of biodiversity loss and climate change presents both opportunities and challenges. While integrated solutions hold the key to a sustainable future, navigating the potential conflicts between conservation and climate action requires careful consideration and a commitment to equity. For instance, large-scale renewable energy projects, while essential for decarbonizing the economy, can sometimes encroach upon vital ecosystems, threatening biodiversity. Similarly, afforestation and reforestation efforts, crucial for sequestering carbon, need to be implemented with sensitivity to local ecosystems and the rights of indigenous peoples and local communities. The pursuit of nature-based solutions which harness the power of nature to mitigate climate change and conserve biodiversity also requires careful navigation. While these solutions hold immense promise, they should not be seen as a panacea, and their implementation must prioritize social and ecological safeguards. Addressing these potential conflicts requires a nuanced approach that balances the urgent need for climate action with the imperative of biodiversity conservation. Transparency, stakeholder engagement, and a commitment to finding solutions that benefit both people and planet are crucial for navigating these complex waters.
Section 7. Financing Our Future, the Money Trail. The success of both the UN Biodiversity Conference and COP29 hinges on a critical factor: finance. Transitioning to a more sustainable and equitable world requires significant financial resources, particularly for developing countries that are on the front lines of both the climate and biodiversity crises. Developed countries have a historical responsibility to provide financial support to developing nations, enabling them to implement ambitious climate action plans, protect their biodiversity, and build resilience to the impacts of a changing climate. Yet despite repeated pledges, the flow of finance remains woefully inadequate. Mobilizing private sector finance will also be crucial. Governments need to create enabling environments that incentivize private investments in conservation, restoration, and sustainable development. Blended finance models, which leverage public funds to attract private capital, can play a significant role in scaling up investments. Beyond simply increasing the quantity of finance, it is equally important to ensure that it is channeled effectively. This means prioritizing investments in nature-based solutions, supporting indigenous-led conservation efforts, and ensuring that finance reaches local communities on the ground.
Section 8. From Pledges to Action, Bridging the Gap. The history of environmental summits is littered with well-intentioned pledges that have failed to translate into meaningful action. The challenge for both the UN Biodiversity Conference and COP29 is to break free from this cycle of inaction, translating ambitious targets into concrete actions that deliver tangible results. Accountability mechanisms will be crucial. Clear and measurable targets, coupled with robust monitoring and reporting systems, are essential for tracking progress and holding countries accountable for their commitments. Transparency and public participation are also vital for ensuring that governments are held to account. Beyond national-level action, there is a growing recognition of the need for transformative change across all sectors of society. Businesses, cities, investors, and civil society organizations all have a role to play in driving the transition to a more sustainable future. The power of individual action should not be underestimated. Every person has a role to play, whether it is reducing their carbon footprint, advocating for change, or supporting organizations working to protect biodiversity. Collective action, driven by a shared sense of urgency and responsibility, can create the groundswell of support needed to drive transformative change.
Section 9. The power of One Earth, recognizing our shared destiny. The challenges facing humanity may seem insurmountable, the complexities overwhelming, yet amidst the uncertainty and the urgency, there is a glimmer of hope, a flicker of possibility. It lies in the recognition that we are all part of one interconnected web of life, our destinies intertwined with the fate of the planet we call home. The UN Biodiversity Conference and COP29 offer a platform for nations to come together, to transcend their differences, and to embrace a shared vision for the future. A future where biodiversity thrives, where the climate is stabilized, and where all people have the opportunity to live healthy and fulfilling lives. This vision requires a fundamental shift in our relationship with the natural world. We must move beyond the paradigm of exploitation and embrace a model of stewardship, recognizing that we are not masters of nature, but rather an integral part of it. Section 10, 2024, a turning point for humanity. The year 2024 has the potential to be a turning point for humanity. The decisions made in Cali and the UAE will reverberate for generations to come, shaping the trajectory of our planet and the well-being of all life on Earth. The stakes could not be higher. Failure to act decisively will have catastrophic consequences, pushing us further down a path of ecological destruction and societal collapse. Yet success, however elusive it may seem, holds the promise of a brighter future, a future where humanity and nature thrive in harmony. The choice is ours to make. Will we rise to the challenge, embracing the opportunity to create a more just and sustainable world? Or will we succumb to the inertia of the status quo, condemning future generations to inherit a planet ravaged by our inaction? Section 11. A time for courage, a time for hope. The challenges that lie ahead are daunting, but we must not succumb to despair. This is not a time for resignation, but rather a time for courage, a time for hope, a time for action. We have the knowledge, the tools, and the resources to chart a different course, to create a future where both people and planet can thrive. What we need now is the political will, the collective determination, and the unwavering belief that a better world is possible. The UN Biodiversity Conference and COP29 offer a glimmer of hope, a chance to change our trajectory, to bend the arc of history towards a more just and sustainable future. Let us seize this moment with both hands, embracing the challenges and the opportunities before us. For the sake of our planet, for the sake of our children, and for the sake of all life on Earth, Let us choose hope. Let us choose action. Let us choose a future where humanity and nature thrive in harmony.